You're listening to LSPN, the authority on sports-related podcasts.
The Hays Football Show is brought to you by Kyle ER and Hospital, your local emergency care center in Kyle, offering 24/7 treatment with average wait times of 5 minutes or less. From pediatric to urgent psychiatric care, they're here to get you better, fast, and with compassion. Are you ready to get your driver's license? Coastline Academy Driving School offers everything you need from start to finish. Customized driving packages, road tests, and we even handle all your DPS submissions for your driver's license. Call 800-489-1896 today and use code DRIVE25 for $25 off. We also need to thank Brandee Otto Realtor. If you're looking to buy, sell, lease, or invest, think gold and get sold with Brandee Otto Realtor, your trusted partner in real estate. Remember, think gold and get sold with Brandee Otto Realtor. All right, everybody, join me in welcoming Coach Mark Torres to the show. Coach, gosh, it was not a very good birthday present for you Friday, was it?
No, it wasn't. It sure wasn't. You know, we ran into a team that's hot. And we did everything we could to kind of help them out along the way, just by a lack of execution. So a lot of basic stuff to clean up.
Well, talk about what went wrong, because, you know, like you said, that is just so unfortunate, because now they hold that fourth playoff spot. Mm-hmm. Talk about the flow of that game and where things dropped. Yeah,
the fundamental execution stuff, center to quarterback, exchanges, hanging on to the football, the basic things. And so we had plays developed, we had moved the chains, and then just the inability to sustain drives because of a lack of ball handling. And, there's no excuse for that. We've got to do a better job of coaching it, and the players got to do a better job of executing it. Yeah.
And it's so frustrating because, your team has been so hot at times this season, and this is such a turnaround the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, and it's not anything that teams don't deal with every season in every district at every level. You lose your quarterback who was playing really well. That happens in the NFL, and then things may not be what they once were. But, it's our job to make sure the guys that are in those spots get coached up and do the very best we can, and that the timing of it is not ideal. We think we're on the right track as far as the program goes, but, we've got to be able to overcome just because we weren't the starter at the beginning of the year. Whoever steps in has got to be accountable for getting the job done as a starter.
Yeah, definitely. And can you point to one or two of those people who did step in and have played some valuable minutes and really impacted?
Yeah, we've had to work with a new center, a guy that was playing some guard for us in a different role, and he's come in to play a little bit of center in Seth Gonzalez. And that's a big ask for someone to step into that kind of a position. So, he's doing the best we can, and we need to kind of rally around that. And the guys need to rally around Troy and help him with his confidence back there taking the snaps. And so we all have a responsibility as far as putting him in positions to be successful with play calls, and the guys around him on the field to be where they're supposed to be whenever we call the play.
Yeah, and with the exception of the quarterback, how is the team health-wise?
We've had a little bit of illness, so we had a safety out and an outside linebacker out for illness, and that was something a little bit new. I hadn't dealt with that since back in the COVID years, and aside from that, there's thankfully no new injuries to report. Defensively, kids are playing hard, and we've given our opponent the last couple of weeks really short fields to work with, and then they're really good opponents on top of that. And so we put way too much on our defense. And although they've responded as well as they can, it's just really tough to go out there series after series and with not much rest. So got to play better complementary football. But I applaud the defense for just stepping in and doing the very best they can under their circumstances.
Excellent. And let's talk about this week. You have Anderson. They are at home. Anderson, though, they're number one in the district right now. And holy moly, what a challenge. 7-0, 5-0. Anderson, talk about them.
Yeah, obviously they're 7-0 and 5-0 for a reason. They have really good players, and they're very well coached, and they playing with a ton of confidence right now, and that's easy to kind of say. So, but it's not our job to necessarily think about what they are. I mean, right now we have a lot of our own stuff that we need to focus on. Right. Some of the best things that I can talk about is we're playing a lot of guys that are going to be returning next year and have been starters all season. And so these kind of big games against really good players and really well-coached teams are a benefit to those guys moving forward. And then if you're a senior on our team, game's going to be on TV. And, I mean, what kind of impression do you want to leave about your senior season? And so, there's a lot of challenges and a lot of motivating factors to get our guys up for this game. And we need to be better than we have the last 2 weeks for sure. Yeah.
And let's talk about the district battle, the playoffs. What has to happen now for the Hawks to make the postseason?
Well, number one, we have to win out, and then number two, some other guys, guys would have to lose. Mathematically, they would have to lose. May have to be an upset here or there in order for that to occur. If all things shake out with the same records, then we would be out based on tiebreakers because of the teams that would have the record we have. They beat us on the field, so it wouldn't work out for us in that regard. But I mean, we just need to be better. We need to be better as a team in more ways than just being on the field.
And how do you impart that in like this week in practice? Without getting them feeling too far down. We've done horrible the last 2 weeks as compared to expectations, but how do you drive that in but also not beat them down? Yeah,
well, number one, I mean, they show up. We owe them the best that we've got, and I'm glad it was a short week. But, the kids, they came right back up Saturday morning, and we had our normal Saturday or day after a game kind of workout, and I think that really speaks to where the team is and where the kids are. We're certainly not against our players and vice versa. I mean, these guys they have a job to do, and it's just you got to do it. I mean, this comes with it. You can't just show up when the sun is shining. I mean, this is a tough person's game and a tough person's profession, and it's a part of it. You're going to be driving down the road one day and run over a nail. Is it the nail's fault? I mean, what are we talking about here? This is how you deal with life, and there's going to be tough situations, but it's about what you do every single day. I mean, if you're a football player and you're a football coach, it requires work. I mean, it just doesn't just happen because you're a good guy. I mean, this is all a part of it.
Yeah, definitely. I love that. And at the end of the day, we're here to build kids into, better people, better parents, better employees, better bosses, and facing adversity is a big part of that.
Yeah, and you know what? We've been accountable for what our shortcomings are and recognize them, and you just got to get back to work. I mean, that's all there is to it. Our kids show up and they put in work, and we want to be better than we were last week.
Right on. And since this game is at home, Bob Shelton Stadium, that should be a nice, comfortable setting. Talk about what's going on there in terms of the community.
So we're going to recognize our first responders and all of our military in the community, and it's a good way to kind of celebrate them before kickoff. We recognize if we've nominated or recognize any family members that are military or first responders. Such an important and part of our society that we don't get to do that quite often. We kind of take for granted our safety and security and the people that can help us in emergency situations. And so we thank those people. They're selfless individuals who go about their day concerned with the well-being of everybody else. And so it's a big thank you from our program to them on Thursday night.
I love that. Well, Coach, best of luck this week. It's going to be a good game, hopefully, and when we talk next week, hopefully that's one more district win under our belt.
All right, Chris, thanks so much.
Take care. If you want to find how you can help sponsor these shows and be mentioned every episode, reach out to the Hays Booster
Did you play
Club.
Texas high school football? If you did, you're part of an elite group, the Brotherhood of Texas High School Football. All football players, past and present, who have ever suited up in the Lone Star State are eligible. Go to LoneStarGridiron.com/brotherhood. And thank you for the part you played in the greatest sport in the greatest state.